nerds, blurs, and everybody in between. It's your boy Wyatt, the sensei of the syndicate, here with another episode of With the BS. Man, I was sick last week, and these wonderful people came through and had a wonderful show. So kudos to them first and foremost. However, I saw a lot of movies when you're sick because you can't really do nothing besides just lay in bed and watch a bunch of them. So I watched a bunch of franchises and I was wondering in my head, and I said, Wyatt, and I said, yeah. And I said, hey, what, there are a lot of them, but are they all good? And which ones out of the ones that you watch is your favorites? So I decided to bring it to the table, bring it to the group, and let them know, hey, and see what if their alignment matches with my alignment, so that we can be able to have some good times. So that's what we're doing today. So before I do all the rest of that, I want to definitely introduce the people that are here with us today, right now. The Husky Hokage himself, Marcus, 1/3 of the Things People Don't Say podcast. What's going on, bro?
Nothing at all, man. It's, just happy to be here, man. How everyone doing?
Oh, man, good. I'm glad these kids are back in school. You know what I mean? Bedtime has been reissued and reinstated. So so the melatonin gummies are in full effect.
Very much so.
KB, how you doing over there?
Man, I'm chilling. Life is good. I decided I wanted to be like the rest of you guys and wear headphones. Mine have nothing to do with my audio, but I just wanted to be a part of the Cool Kids Club.
Oh man, that's what's up. That's all it takes is just a pair of headphones. They don't even have to really be good ones, because mine are about the ones that I got from Target. So I decided to step up since I got them from Target. You know what I mean? So I was like, we don't moved up in the world. So yeah, it's always a fun time from that point. So there's a couple of these franchises that I was thinking about in between my consciousness of NyQuil and not. NyQuil, I don't care how old you are, I don't care how big or small you are, NyQuil will take your ass out. And so that definitely what's happening to me. Tots, what's going on? Hey, you guys. So
What's up, Tots?
So yeah, it was yeah, I was feeling better though. So I got a couple of them that I want to show you guys, and here's how I want to do it. I want to do what's your favorite out of the series and what's your least favorite.
Okay.
All right.
I'm down for that.
I'm gonna start. They're little, so I can't see all of them, so I'm just picking. All right. We did The Fast and the Furious. Now, I'm gonna say this. There's some people that don't like The Fast and the Furious. I love The Fast and the Furious for what they are, which are a way to turn off your brain and ignore the rules of gravity, ignore the rules of physics.
Everything.
Just,
everything.
If a car can take out a tank, I'm just here for just to be able to look and laugh.
If a car can go to space.
Exactly. No, nothing like that. Yeah, I'm just here for the BS, so to speak. So, and then after that, I didn't like the fact. I think a lot of people went to the movies after Paul Walker died to see how they were going to kill him off, which is kind of messed up. But that's like the best-selling movie that they have. Plus, I'm a big rock fan, so my favorite movie out of these is, I'm gonna go with the first one, Fast Five, the one when The Rock showed up the first time. That one seemed still kind of, it was okay. It wasn't too crazy. It wasn't like, launching cars at tanks, but it was just enough where they're taking, what was it, the
bank,
the vault through Rio. So I was like, okay, you know what I mean, a little bit out there, but I can still rock with it. My least favorite, I say, is the most recent one, because I felt like they were then reaching. You know what I mean? Because like nobody talked about family about John Cena being related all this whole time. We'd have been on this 20-year journey, and nobody mentioned that Dom had a brother at all. Spoiler.
At all. Like literally, he came out of left field. Like, and I understand they needed somebody to replace The Rock, but it really, like, they just just throw him in there. We go kind of go back, squeak him in here. So yeah. For me, my favorite has probably been
I didn't put all of them up there. There's two missing, I think.
Yeah, I think Fast, maybe Fast 6 or 7. I think that's probably my favorite. My least favorite is probably I think what's probably the fourth one. That's probably my least favorite. That's what you think. That's the one down here on the bottom.
Oh yeah,
bottom. It's called Fast and Furious or whatever. Not the Fast. Yeah, I think the one where they show like Lady dying or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's probably my least favorite one.
All right, KB, what you got for us?
The fifth one is my favorite. I love the bank heist, like the vault heist element. That whole movie I enjoyed. The second one is actually my least favorite. Coincidentally, I think it was also Paul Walker's least favorite because that's when he walked away from the franchise.
Oh no, that's when Vin Diesel walked away.
Paul walked away after that one because they promised him they weren't going to put stickers on the skyline because he was furious that they did that, and then they turned around and did it, and he had already committed to the movie, so he finished it out, and that's why
that's why they had Tokyo Drift.
Went back the way it did because they basically both of them to come back to the franchise. Yeah, because he was furious. There was apparently like almost a brawl over it, and there was a whole bunch of stuff. And so he was like, the absolute only way he was coming back is if they promised not to do that dumb shit again. And so if you notice,
ain't no
cut back on a lot of the graphics and stuff. There was a big thing about that because he was like, listen, I get that y'all are trying to have this car scene, but it's not genuine to true people in a lot of this scene. It's genuine to a very select few. So he wasn't happy about it. And that movie is actually just god awful. But I love the entire franchise. If you go to see a Fast movie for a good plot, you need your head examined. They never promised you that. It's just supposed to be a good time with fast cars, half-naked women, which and things exploding. And that's what we're here for. And now finally they said it's family.
Yeah, family. That's what it's all about.
I love the memes of what is like him. He was like, you know, something you can't beat this, and it was like, but you know what? No, I got family or something like that. It's just all those memes are hilarious, man.
Yeah. Like, what do you have? I have family. It's like Goku showing up with the Zensu being like, I got this. And he's like, okay, but I got family. Hilarious.
Yep, it's just like Goku's like, oh damn. Well, I guess I missed it. So yeah, I think. How do you guys feel about Tokyo Drift?
I actually like Tokyo Drift.
I like Tokyo Drift too.
Yeah, it was I actually like the direction they were going with it, and I love now Fast 9 or F Family, whatever. It's not the greatest, but the fact that they brought them guys back full circle in Fast 9, you know what I'm saying? Like I really enjoyed it. I really loved it. That was pretty cool for me because I was a big fan of Tokyo Drift. I like the.
Tokyo Drift gave us Han, and for that I will always be thankful because Han is quite possibly, I think, the best character they have, and it's hilarious because the original decision to kill him off, it was supposed to stand, but people enjoyed him so much that they did the little prequel for 4, which then included like the little back shot with him being involved. They explain how he got to Tokyo, and then 5, they had to go and actually do and run that story. But he became a quick fan favorite after 3, which is how he ended up coming back.
He was in there in 6 too, wasn't he? Because he was like
He was in as a full character. He was in 4 in the prequel. He's in 5 with the heist. He's in 6, because 6 is the one where Giselle dies.
Yeah.
And then
they killed one.
He's supposed to be dead. Come 7 and 8, I think. Don't have him.
Yeah.
Or they do, and he's.
That's when he goes to quote unquote Tokyo. So all this stuff happens in the past, but then
it's 4 or 5. But it's like 4, 5, and 6 are in the past.
Yeah, and then 4, 5, and 6, then 3.
Yeah,
and then
7, 8, and 9.
8 and 9. But I think 8 happens at the same time as one of the other ones, because that's like 3 takes place right before, because they show where he dies and which college is the one that killed him.
Yeah.
And then they bring it back. So those kind of coincide, but it's 1, 2, and then 4, 5, 6, 3, 7, 8, 9, I think. I have to go back and look at it, but I think that's the order.
Okay. What about next one is I had to do Ninja Turtles because there's a lot of them, and then we always like to sprinkle in some of the news as well. They have a new Ninja Turtles coming out,
animated.
In about a year. So, and that one's run by Seth Rogen.
Yeah, Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg. So go see how that's gonna go. But
there's actually one on Netflix now that's animated.
So yeah, I was gonna say that. So just to jump into that real quick. So it was the Rise of the Ninja Turtles movie. So this one this was a little different. Just so that's not really a spoiler, but if you haven't watched it, Raph is like the leader. Raph is the older brother.
That threw me. That threw me so bad.
It messed, and that's why they only had. I think that's why they only had like one season of the actual cartoon, because it threw people for Raph being a leader and Raph being the older brother. But it threw me as well. But I watched a few episodes with my kids, and I was like, okay, I can kind of I see what they were trying to do with it. However, the movie they have on there, they just came out with a movie, I think about a week ago. Rather than Ninja Turtle the movie,
about a week ago.
But the movie is really, really good. It's really good. If you haven't seen the Rise of the Ninja Turtle movie on Netflix, definitely go check it out, man. I love I like the meaning behind it. I love what they did with it. And it kind of made me really want to go give Rise of the Teenage Mutant Turtles, the series, actually another try. Or whatever, but the movie. It's
on Netflix. Really, you can do it.
Yeah. I'm gonna go and watch it or whatever. But it's really good. The movie was really good. I was shocked how good it was.
Facts, because it took me a second, just because I was stuck on Ralph being the oldest and the more like emotionally mature one.
Yeah.
And then just the way they handled Lee, like they didn't even reverse those two as far as personalities go. They just reversed their age and made Ralph basically like how Leo always has been. But then they turned around and Leo was very similar to Michelangelo to me.
He was
like, very similar to Mike.
He was more so a mix between. He was like a mix of maybe Mikey and Ralph. Yeah, because he seemed sometimes he would seem like Mikey, and then like his impetuousness, how he was so impetuous, whatever the word is, can't get it out right. Yes, so impetuous, and how he acted, it really came off how Ralph would do back in the day. So it's like I see what they were trying to do. It's just.
Yeah. Once you get a handle on that, though, it's like you said, it's a very solid movie. I enjoyed it. Not my favorite, but I definitely enjoyed it. The favorite is going to be Ninja Turtles 2: Secret of the Ooze. I love that film. Love it. The first one is actually, from a story standpoint, the first one is a better film. Shout out to Anthony King if he ever watches this, because we argued it and he was not wrong. However, my favorite is Secret of the Ooze.
You see the artwork I got over on the far end for it?
Yeah, I
Excellent.
love it. And see, I am with KB on this one. I love the first one. I love the first one. Like I said, it's more so accurate. It's dark. Love it. But the second one, I don't know what it is about the second one. The second one has a special place in my heart. I love the second one.
Bro, it's just
Uh,
fun. It's so much fun.
it
That
it
is a
it, it,
fun
does- it
movie.
is. And then you get Keno, Ernie Reyes Jr. and his dad actually plays. I think he played. I don't know if he played one as well, but I know he played. His dad, Ernie Reyes Sr., played one of the Ninja Turtles in the first one. But it was just good to see. Like they got him in there. But the second one is just so much fun.
Okay, so y'all skipped over which
The whole
one?
dance floor scene. Like,
Oh.
that movie is
Which
Yes.
which is your least favorite out of the Ninja Turtles?
Oh, definitely we can go with the live action ones from Megan Fox. I would say the first one. The first one's probably my least favorite, and I would say I like the second one a little better because they kind of introduced a Casey Jones figure, but they're about par for me. It's those two.
They both suck equally.
Yeah.
Go ahead, KB.
I would say I actually don't hate any of them really. Like the ones with Megan Fox are like solid little films, but I also like those type of films. I just don't like her, and therefore those are going to be mine too as well. The second one to me is better than the first one, but it's if they had gotten rid of her, I thought it would have been a great film.
Let's see. Like I said, I'll watch them. I watch them, but like as far as them being like, I mean, it's just some of the stuff they were trying to do, what they did with those films, I just did not appreciate. But like I said, they're still the turtle movies. Like it's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's talking turtles. So I mean, it's only so much you can you can be like, hey, this ain't eat this, but it's like it's a turtle movie, bro. Like it's supposed to be fun, goofy, and silly. Like I give it like the on the first one, the scene in the elevator where they're going up the fight Shredder and playing that right there. I love that scene, but like I said, it's but as far as the whole thing, but
Okay. Well, see, so I'm gonna go kind of with you guys, but kind of not. So my favorite is the first one because I'm all about the smoke. I'm all about they was beating they got the shit beat out of them. They had to fight Shredder, and Shredder was getting ready to kill everybody. Splinter had to commit somewhat of a what was it? He almost caught a body with Shredder. You know what I'm saying?
No. He didn't kill. He didn't almost. Okay, he almost caught a body, but Casey Jones definitely was trying to catch a body.
Yeah.
He said, "Throw some oops." Okay.
But
I'm cutting out.
Yeah, you're cutting out a little bit.
But my bad.
But yeah. So that's my favorite. My least favorite is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3 when they go back in time. Man, I was a kid that wanted action. That did not have it. That was not it. Like you can't go from 1 and 2 to being like where you were on 3. So that's why I can't forgive that one. But the live action ones from the first one weren't great either, because they essentially made Shredder into Iron Man, with really long knives, and I didn't really appreciate that either.
Not Iron Man. That's hilarious.
Think about it, because he had knives that had magnets on it that came back, and it was just a big ass metal suit. And the thing that made Shredder a badass was the fact that he took on the turtles by himself.
Yeah.
And he was like nothing but a cape and like what else?
They didn't give Orosaki the respect he deserves.
I liked the upgrade idea because I felt like they tried to kind of keep up with what technology was doing, as having this man with some gauntlets with some spikes on him. Because really, if you think about it in the cartoon, he just looked like he was going to a rave at some point. So I like what they did with it.
Man, I liked the first one where Shredder was there and he was like, "My face," and he took off his mask. He was pissed at Splinter. He was like, but I think
my bad. I just thought about it. They made him really fat in the new cartoon. My man looks like a cat instead of a rat, and I don't know how I feel about that. That animation is wild, but again, solid movie.
Facts. All right, this one is a little bit more difficult, I think, but not really. But we'll see. So we got Captain America. Which one was your? I think everybody's least favorite Captain America is the first one. It's just which one is your favorite, either the Winter Soldier or Civil War. And by the way, for those who are listening,
Winter Soldier is my favorite. Civil War is my least favorite.
Whoa. Okay, let's go back. So Winter Soldier is your favorite. Civil War is your least favorite.
I said what I said. I refuse to take it back. And in this dissertation, I will explain why.
All right, I'm all ears for it. You see, I got my headphones on.
So, I want to clarify, it is not a bad movie. It is simply my least favorite because the fight between Cap and Tony honestly made zero sense when you factor in how intelligent Tony Stark is. Now, at the end, the issue between him and Bucky, what went down with the family stuff, that part made sense. But the initial part, did anybody actually like freeze the frame and look at what the Accord said? Cap was 100% correct to not sign them. Where he messed up was taking Bucky's side over Tony. Also, the fact that the Black Widow is the person who says time out. What is happening? Y'all are both being stupid. A lot of people wanted smoke with her, and I don't understand why. What you're supposed to do as an adult. You make your decision, you get your facts, and then you make an informed decision after you gather more information. You are allowed to change your mind. In fact, at some point in life, you really should. Some things are not what you thought they were. And therefore, I just felt like the way that they went about handling the script and the story was just weird energy. Tony never would have actually, I don't care about the suit of iron around the world. I don't care about the PTSD stuff. Tony would have never actually signed that. I get that he did in the comics, but that was still weird energy to make the choice the way you made it. And it was also different in the comics. But it just, I didn't like the way they went about it. The way you presented Tony Stark, Tony would not have signed that. Not if he read it. That is a man who understands a legal contract.
But I think he would have found ways around it. You know what I mean? And right. But then also, I think there was a lot of stuff, and this is what I like about the Russos. I think they had something really, really good when they were talking about how they brought in old girl who caught him in the middle, like at night, or excuse me, after they left that graduation, and he was like, your son is, you're the reason my son isn't here. I think it also plays into the part that, you know what I mean, that he just got done dealing with a breakup with Pepper Potts, which was pretty much his real steady relationship as far as that's concerned. And then after that, like the thing that you kind of got into it with your girl about is the thing that's messing up. You know what I mean? That's falling apart. So you want to be able to do what you can. You can protect it by, like you said, having one hand on the wheel. So you can be like, hey, listen, so we're cooperating until we're not. And then I think there's also legal jargon that he was saying beforehand, like we'll sign them on saying that, hey, in principle, we believe that there should be some kind of, help in this situation or some type of oversight.
And that's what I'm saying. You think that Tony Stark, the same man who did not trust Nick Fury and ran a spies program on the spy, would have trusted the government with oversight? No, he wouldn't have. Even if you factor in, like I said, the PTSD, you factor in what that woman said about her kid, because that was a big point to me with a lot of people arguing about Tony. I was like, y'all forget he felt a lot of guilt. There was so much guilt there. But at the end of the day, Tony is nothing if not a businessman. He would not have signed that contract if he read the paperwork.
So
now, if somebody had just handed, like if Pepper hadn't looked over it and just handed it to him or something like that, maybe, because he trusts her with everything. And they clearly said, like, if she looks over something and thinks it's good, she gets handed stuff and she hands him things. So that I could have seen, but that's not even the way that you went about it. And again, as a businessman and somebody who did not like having a leash around his neck, Tony wouldn't have signed that. It just didn't make sense.
but also, here's the thing. In Iron Man 2, he went up against the government and won. So if it came to something where it came to a point of like, oh, well, you know what I mean? Like, you can't do this, or you can't do this part, or you can't go here. Like, he's more of a, like, I do what I want to, and I'll ask for forgiveness later.
Right, but once he signed that contract, he would have ended up on the raft, just like Clint, Sam, Wanda, all of them. And it wasn't until he went on to the visit to the raft that he realized Natasha was right and something wasn't quite adding up.
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense to have the Black Widow do that, because that is essentially her character. Because the only other character who is a spy is Nat.
That's true.
It's literally her, it's Fury, her, and then depending on the version of Yelena you get, you can throw her in before you throw Clint, but really they kind of go tit for tat, because Yelena doesn't get much place on him. She essentially dies. That's not a spoiler. That's been around since like 2014. But it's just, it was weird. And the first one just set up the story, so I appreciate it for what it was.
All right. Marcus, I yield the floor to you, sir.
All right, so my favorite is probably gonna be. It's hard to say. It's hard to pick. I would say The Winter Soldier. I really did love that movie. I want to say Civil War. Only reasons we get our first action with T'Challa coming in, taking on Bucky, like he was ready to give him them hands. But I want to say Winter Soldier, and I enjoyed the very first Captain America, but out of the series, it's probably going to be my least favorite. But I really did enjoy the first one. It was like I said, I thought it was a solid starter movie. I liked it a lot better than I did the first Thor movie. But
yeah, I get that. I'm gonna say I liked Civil War the most. Like it's really close next to the Winter Soldier, because I think the Winter Soldier set up a preference or a preference of actually having a superhero movie dressed in something else, and it was like an espionage movie as far as that's concerned. So it was an espionage movie made with superheroes. So I really appreciated that. But there's a lot of stuff that like you got with Civil War. Like you said, you got Black Panther for the first time. You got Spider-Man for the first time. You got you had the opportunity to I really felt for Tony for a little bit, because I understand with Bucky, even though he wasn't in control, he was going to have to catch these hands at least for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And then they jumped my boy, and then it was just like, oh, well, and then Cap was kind of selfish, but you know what I mean? It is what it is, though.
Also, and maybe I'm the only one that feels this way, I have beef with Civil War, because how dare you set up the Winter Soldier Black Widow background and do jack shit with it? Like, can we talk about that? Because they had their scene, and if y'all remember, she literally said something along the lines of "you don't remember me" or something like that. And she also referenced being shot by him in Winter Soldier.
Mhm.
So, following the comics, you know, he was one of the people that trained her. And I think there's also a story of them falling in love and trying to run off or something, maybe. I could be mixing him and someone else. But they have history together. So you allude to it, you do nothing with it. And then there's also the question of, because you kind of play back and forth of whether or not Natasha was an enhanced being. They kind of really didn't, they told the line on that. Because in the comics, she is. She has the Red Room's variant of a super soldier serum.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if it's like you could go tit for tat there, because the things that she does are not a regular human being thing. And even if you include like all the training that she has, that fight with the Winter Soldier should have gone a completely different way. If she were not somewhat enhanced, it would have. So, like, why did y'all do that? What was the point and what was the purpose? Because I feel like you knew you weren't going to renew her contracts or whatever that looked like. So why did y'all throw that at us and then do nothing with it? I hate you.
Okay, if that's how you feel. Well, here's the next one. I got the next one. I didn't have a really good segue. Well, I do have a good segue. We talked about this person and him making his appearance in Civil War in the MCU. So, of course, we got to bring in all the different kind of Spider-Man that they have going on. So you can talk about your favorite Spider-Man movie, then your least favorite.
My least favorite, hands down, is Spider-Man 3.
Oh,
that is you just don't understand. Like that. Oh,
I get you.
But
who doesn't understand?
I'm just saying.
I've gone on this tangent on this show before.
What are you guys' favorite? Because I think everybody's least favorite would have to be Spider-Man 3, because you set me up so much to go ahead and get this dope ass Venom, and then you give me emo Tony or Peter Parker. You give me not the Venom that we are looking like. I understand they were trying to go with realism, but at some point you just got to be like, okay, fuck it, let's go ahead and spend this budget on this special effects like we need to.
I still to this day like just Topher Grace as his Venom was just like, I don't.
He should have been another Peter Parker. Like I could see him as another Peter Parker.
I saw him more as that than a Venom.
Saying that film required your actors to be able to act, and nobody that was involved in that was a good actor. And that essentially was your problem, because, and it's no shade to any of them, but well, there's shade to one, Kirsten Dunst. I hate her, so whatever, I don't care. But other than that, it's no shade to the rest of them. But if you look at the original set, Spider-Man 1 and 2 were more action driven than actual story, and so it didn't require as much of your cast. Aside from the dude who played Doc Ock, who was fantastic, no one else really had to carry a story. You just had to show up in the costume, do the tricks, and roll out. That third one, however, you relied really heavy on a story, and none of your actors could carry it. And then Eddie Brock already was never the same size as Peter Parker. So let's start with that. Now, let's move on to number 2. What in the hell was the dance about? Why did you do that? All right, cool. Moving past it.
No, we can't move past it. That's
which dancing? The dancing together or the dancing?
Period.
Oh, okay.
Why did Venom look the way that he looked? If you were going to give me a tiny Eddie Brock, all right, fine. Hate it, I can let it go. But at no point should Venom have looked like he needed to hit the weight room. I don't care what your reasoning was. That was a terrible decision, and you should have been lobotomized.
And he looked like he needed braces.
I hate
it. Like it didn't look like he was gonna gnaw off your arm. It looked like he would just like have to work hours and hours to chew off your arm. Like,
Everything about it was a bad decision. From top to bottom, everyone should have been fired and it should have been recast.
The only person that was decent was maybe the Sandman. The guy played Sandman,
no.
but because he came back in the news. So I and just thinking about it, he was okay. He was okay, but
That's because he had the least amount of lines.
that's what I'm saying.
And
Like,
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. He went out there and did exactly what he was supposed to do and gave what he was supposed to do.
and I
Play a
see,
sad person.
I see,
And that's
and I
all
see
he had to
what
do.
Marvel's been doing. They've been bringing people back to let them redeem themselves a little bit. Like, you know, they brought them back in a new Spider-Man movie. Like, it's just they brought Jamie Foxx back. You know what I'm saying? But it's just Spider-Man 3 is.
It is. I will never forgive him. I'm never going to get over it.
Will not.
Never.
This is full spite.
I told you, the girl I was dating at the time came up to take me to the movies. It was me, her, and two of my homeboys. We went to the movies to see this. We walking out the movie. Me and my homeboys walking out the movie theater like, what was that? And she was like, you really wanted to see this on your birthday? I was like,
she had you looking all kinds of bad.
yes, she did. Yes, she did. I was like, just, oh.
All right, so we got the shitty movie out the way. Which one is your favorite?
Okay, so for me, it's gonna be between Spider-Man 2, the with Doc Ock. The only thing I didn't like about that movie, I just hated the fact how he revealed himself to Mary Jane. We can get past that, but Spider-Man 2 is up there, and of course Into the Spider-Verse because we got Miles.
Yeah.
I'm hard. It's hard for me to pick, but narrow down one. You go ahead, KB. Let me give me a second to think.
One that no one will probably agree with, or at least very few, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is my favorite because the death of Gwen Stacy is actually one of my favorite stories for Spider-Man, and I think beautifully done. I loved the way that whole moment came together, and therefore, complete and utter bias, it is my favorite of the Spider-Man films. I don't think that they could have picked a better actress at the time for Gwen Stacy. The only thing I didn't like was how old Peter looked in comparison to Andrew Garfield looked very old to be a high schooler. And I feel like they should have gone with college Peter at that point because he did go to college until he could no longer afford to do so. So I feel that's where we should have ran with that, and that was the only decision I disagree with. I think that the actors did not do a terrible job with their roles, and really, honestly, just the death of Gwen Stacy was fantastic. I knew it was coming, and I still was sitting there like this. So,
okay. Hey. So I'll go ahead. I guess I'll probably go with. As much as Andrew Garfield is still hands down my favorite Spider-Man, but the movie that I probably loved or really enjoyed the most was probably Spider-Man 2, and it's just for the simple fact of like Doc Ock. I love Doc Ock, like as far as a villain wise, he's one of my favorite Spider-Man villains. And the guy that plays him, I can't think his name right now, but. As you see,
Medina or something like that.
Yeah. And you see, they brought him back in the new one, so you know, like, dude does a awesome job of playing Doc Ock. So it'll probably be Spider-Man 2.
All right, so I'm going to choose somebody different than what you guys chose. I'm definitely gonna go with Into the Spider-Verse. Excuse me. I thought it was really, really well done. I liked the graphics. I liked the style. The way that he went about it. I wish going forward, I wish that they have a little bit more culture to it rather than just being, like ambiguous, not white person. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? So I want them to have, I want him to have more culture when he does stuff.
You thought it was ambiguous?
Not all the way ambiguous. Like, you didn't get to see, he was just an every kid. Like, there wasn't a whole story about him. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm explaining it correctly. So like, there wasn't like those black aha moments, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
So it wasn't that you didn't know that he wasn't black, but there wasn't those like, I can relate to those stories, and I don't know if there was anything like that for like, because he's Puerto Rican as well, Dominican.
Yeah, black and Puerto Rican, I think.
Yeah. So like, I don't know if there was anything that was like that with him. You know what I mean? But like, I think it would have been cool just to see that part of it, besides him tagging something, because that felt too like 90s ish. How they be like, yeah, man, now you're cool.
Yeah, anyway. I get what you're saying.
So, but all right, so I got another one for you.
Okay.
Marcus, have you seen Prey yet on Hulu? All right, good. All right, this is what we did then. All right, we did the Predator. So there's all the Predators and the Aliens vs. Predators in this one, and Prey, because I wanted to talk about this movie. And so it was first of all, I wanted to see which one you thought was the best.
So for me, so let me say this. I really, really, really like the new one. Mm-hmm. Prey was really good. I love the Predator in this movie. I love how there was like a different version of the Predator that wasn't ones we're used to seeing. Spoiler alert for anybody that hasn't seen it. But I'm trying to see if it's my favorite. I don't know. I don't know. Give me a second to think. Let me dissect in my head for a second. You can go ahead, KB.
You do that and I'll run with it. So my favorite is actually the toss up between the original and here's why. I feel as though, because this took place several hundred years before, right? Not 100, but like, no, that's accurate.
300, 300 years before.
Yeah. So, and to Al, because he brought this up. The spoiler alert, the trick that they used, why did it still work? Because isn't the Predator supposed to like learn from like the input? Like, did they not input it this time? Like, did he?
Hold on,
did
which part? So you can be, because
if I say the part,
it's spoiler alert. Just put a
part, it really will tell the entire movie. So I would give you okay. All right, cool.
Spoiler alert.
Y'all know she went into like the little mud pit or whatever, right?
Uh-huh.
Do y'all remember that also worked in the original Predator?
Yeah.
That's what Arnold Schwarzenegger did.
So that's why I was like,
but you notice,
because like even in death, that information kind of relays back, which is how they learn and adapt. So
they got cloud.
Those times that they didn't do that.
They didn't have the cloud yet. That's what it was.
They didn't have the cloud yet. That's what it was.
Why it solved it? They didn't have the cloud yet.
They didn't have the cloud yet. His shit wasn't backed up. So
that's got to be what it is. But other than that, I thought it was a fantastic movie. Even though you may not be able to relate completely to the culture, like I related to, feeling frustrated and being told consistently by people that I can't do something and wanting to prove that wrong. I related to being doubted by everyone around me. I am an older sibling, so I didn't really have that angle to relate to. But I liked the fact that in this movie, the older sibling, even though, yes, he was a bit of a jerk, it wasn't overly done. He was actually more supportive of his sibling than we see in a lot of movies with those relationships. Usually it's real contentious up until somebody dies. But in this one, like, yes, he had his moments of like trying to be, protective of her. And yeah, there's the scene where he's a bit of an ass, but overall, he was a really good brother. He tried to teach her. He, supported her when people were doubting her outright. And then when she needed that little extra boost, he gave it to her. So I really like how they handled all of that. I love the gun throwback.
Mm-hmm.
I love that because I kept telling people like that is the same gun. They're like, no, it's not. I was like, it's Homeboy's gun. It's the same gun from the second one.
It is.
I can't wait till we get to the worst one though, because I've actually been rewatching the franchise.
So I go ahead. If you, I go ahead now, Wyatt, if you don't mind.
I got one quick question. Since this is all under, it was under Fox, but now it's not under Fox. It's under Disney. Does that qualify her as a Disney princess? Because she has a dog as a companion. She has her, she overcomes something. Does she count as a Disney? And and now she's like kind of royalty of some sort.
Disney
Huh?
No, she wasn't royalty. She was just a hunter.
Well, now she's like the top hunter. So
Right, but that's still not royalty. It's a whole different degree, which is why I always was like, why is Mulan classified as a princess? She was never actually royalty, unless I'm missing something in like those little half-step movies. But I don't think Mulan was ever actually royalty. She was just saved the entire country.
Yeah,
so I think she was
regular. She was regular.
Yeah, she had like a high honor, but they classify her as a princess. So
That's
I'm
what
not
I'm
really
saying.
sure what the requirements are. I know Disney has an official list, and
I'm sorry.
Did you say that? Yeah.
Hey, I said after that list.
How you gonna tell Disney good job?
Hopefully they don't take down. Don't. He didn't mean that, Disney. They're not watching.
Don't. I'm
Right,
sorry.
they're gonna take Tiana off because you playing. Shut up.
I'm sorry. I am so sorry. But go ahead. I'm sorry. Either one of y'all, because I know you guys both were talking.
Go ahead, Marcus.
I was just gonna say, well, as far as my favorite, I'm probably gonna go. I'm gonna lean towards Prey, as being my. It's hard. It's being my favorite. I would say my second favorite. Though. I love the second movie with Danny Glover. I know a lot of people don't like that one. That's like high up there for me. It's between that and Prey for me. It's probably my favorite, but I go with Prey. And my least favorite, just because I got to pick one. I love the Predators. I love all the Predator movies. Alien versus Predator, the Predator movie, the last one where they introduced like the Super Predator or whatever. That's probably my least favorite. But if I have to pick one, that'll be my least favorite. But I enjoy all the Predator movies. I love the Predator as a character, or I ain't gonna say really a antagonist. I guess you can call him an antagonist. He's more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he definitely was an antagonist, bro.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So he's not really.
But he didn't make it personal. So
you know what I'm saying? It's not. He's not really trying to take over the world or do anything like that. He's just basically it's like a trial. You know what I'm saying? I'm not.
Well, he's an antagonist towards that person. Like he's not. He's not an antagonist to like, oh, I have a whole big plan to take over the world. Yeah. It's just like, hey, you're in my way, so therefore I'm going to take you out. Yeah. So that's the one thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say I like the movie Predators with like Adrian Brody and I can't think of the other girl. I love the premise of that movie. How they they bring them from Earth basically and put them in their environment. I actually would have loved to see a sequel to that because I love that premise of what they were doing. They come and they bring once they make it out or whatever, if you make it past that, they bring in more people. It's like a cycle that keeps going. And I love kind of what they were doing. They're not just taking regular people. They're taking like people who kill people. They're taking hunters and stuff like that. That'll be dope though. I would love to see that. Also, one last thing, they mentioned that since Prey did so well, somebody mentioned they want to see like a Prey sequel, but set in like Japan, doing like the samurai era or something like that. And I can't think of the guy's name or what he played in to be like the guy to go against the Predator. I think that would be so dope. If I can find his name, I'll let you know. But that would be so dope. I think that would be cool.
Hey, you mentioned that's actually my favorite one, the Predators, the one where they get them off on the planet.
Yeah.
Because in my mind, I thought like they messed around so much with Danny Glover, and Danny Glover was like, "I'm too old for this shit," and they was like, "We're not messing with this planet no more. We're gonna take the people we want, and then after that, go ahead and still get our trials done." So I think
Yes.
that was my favorite. My least favorite was Alien versus Predators Requiem. That the second one, because I just felt like that one was kind of like, hey, we know you guys liked Alien vs Predator, so come on and give us your money again. So it didn't feel as good as the other ones.
I got
So,
you.
sir, what's going
I
on?
pull up at the club, VIP gas tank on E, but all drinks
On me.
are on me. Wipe me down.
Hey.
Good, get my drink.
Damn.
So the guy I was talking about played Scorpion in the Mortal Kombat, the one that was.
Oh, no,
They won.
you knew damn well not to bring it up in front of Jeremy.
I know the movie Mortal Kombat, but I'm not referring to them. I'm talking about the guy that plays Scorpion.
I got you.
Okay.
They was mentioning they was like somebody would love to see him playing, going and pray like a secret of prey as in the samurai era, with him being the samurai that go against him. I think that would be dope, dude.
That
I
would be
think
hard.
Yeah, see.
I do want to say that I think Prey has unlocked the ability to entertain me for the rest of eternity with these movies, because now you can literally take the Predator and drop him in any era and you're going to get my attention.
Oh, we get a Predator like Assassin's Creed. How they doing
You can
Assassin's
put
Creed? They
him
put him
in
in
like
there.
ancient Mesopotamia. I'm going to watch it. You can put him, listen, you can put him during the slave time. Here's what I want. I want all the slaves to get away. I want all the slaves to get away. I don't want them to be threats at all, because everybody is
all black people to live in that
movie. Exactly. With the exception of one movie, the Predator has never killed anything that was not a direct threat. But in the Predator, the one that I hate, because I didn't go there, the one that I hate with the little boy with the I hate that movie, because that completely defied what the Predator had been. They really weren't killing threat.
Uh-oh.
They were only going after people who presented themselves as a threat, which is what
Yeah.
Prey told you. Like, the minute she wasn't a threat, it was walking away from her. Once she reestablished herself as one, it wanted smoke. So that's why I was like, drop it in the slave era. Let everyone who's not a threat, aka everyone who looks like me, get away. And everyone who is, let's say, 6 shades removed. I don't care. If you in the house, you might as well get got. Sorry.
Prey 2.
You had an advantage.
Directed by
You
Jordan
don't
Peele.
now. Rectification. But also, the movie that is my least favorite did give me my favorite character out of the entire franchise, which is Nebraska. The black dude, not the bad guy, but the one that shot himself in the head. I love Nebraska.
Is that
I
Javante
love
Rhodes?
that dude.
Who is it?
That character was fantastic. I don't know his name, but that character was amazing. I loved everything about that fool. So
I did too. I really did. He was. I loved his character in that movie.
Nebraska was my guy. So
It was Trevante Rhodes.
Yeah.
Rhodes. Yeah. He's one of my picks. Yeah, he's like my top 3. One of my picks to replace.
I've never seen him in anything else that I can think of off the top of my head. But
I can see that.
I can see that.
like that dude's fantastic, and he gets my vote in anything he wants to play in right now.
He's
Sir.
been in a couple of good movies.
Sir, so we are giving our best and worst choices for we did Predator. That was the
Oh, this is easy for me.
all right, let's go.
The OG, the first one. I love it. It's just campy, corny shit, full of one-liners. Dude said that dug in like an Alabama tick. Bro, what? Let's go, Jesse. Let's go, Jesse. And honestly, okay, so I'm a nerd for this film. Predator 1, I watched every weekend, every Saturday. So I know this movie inside and out.
Hey,
They knew they did not have enough time to establish the relationships between each character, right? So they took key instances, and you notice how their deaths affected everybody, and that established their relationship. Prime example, when Jesse Ventura died, right? He chest blown the fuck out. Excuse my language.
Oh, we're fine. I didn't say
um,
fuck Disney princesses already, so
I'll bet. We'll come back to that. But so he died, right? And the guy who you done fucked up, right? The purple black guy.
Dukes.
Winston Duke.
So
Yeah.
he was sitting there talking to his dead friend while looking up at the sky. That lets you. And then when he was killed, he picked up his weapon and fired and emptied the clip in a minigun into
Until there
nothing.
wasn't nothing, until there wasn't nothing left of that bit.
And you get the emotional drive that he was not only trying to kill what he couldn't see, but he was letting out his frustration because his best friend just died in front of him and there was nothing he could do about it. These guys were killers. They were A1 killers, and he couldn't protect his homie in his time of need. Bruh, they wrote the fuck out that movie.
Max, what's your least favorite one?
Predator 2. I don't know what the fuck they was thinking. I'm sorry. I
love that movie.
Y'all felt the way about Urbans, and y'all made it known in Predator 2. It was like, oh, Predator finds shit that's a threat. I think people of color in the city are a threat. Kill them all. Nah, I ain't riding with that.
I love that movie. I'm sorry.
Oh god.
Which is why I want
Fucking with the
revenge.
message behind that. And
Oh,
then the
God.
main character is a black man. There's no greater threat
But no, even
than
though
an
that
old black man. Like what?
He wasn't actually chasing him. I mean, it's just Danny Glover decided to, hey, you killing all these folks. Let me investigate. And like, oh, it's this. Let me take this shit out.
I did not like Predator 2. Just and don't get me wrong, I'm sure the campiness was there, but it just wasn't. I expected more like one. Like when you think of Arnold Schwarzenegger films getting a sequel, it's like bigger and better. So First Blood 1, First Blood 2 took that and made it bigger. 3 did the same thing. I expected that, and when I got that, I was like, that's not my Predator. So that's how I feel about Predator 2, not my Predator. Goddamn, they dug in like an Alabama tick. That shit hit different, boy. That shit hit different. I ain't got time to
I'm
bleed.
still sticking with The Predator as my least favorite.
I don't even remember that film. I'm gonna be
Yeah.
here with you, KB.
That's definitely my least favorite.
Yeah, it's the one with the little boy. The
Came out in 2018.
little boy was autistic, and the dad had
he
taken
activated
Predator
the-
gear. Yeah,
That's where you get the Super Predator.
Oh, the Predator Iron Man movie.
I hated that film.
I'm
Love
just
Nebraska.
saying,
Hate the rest.
it wasn't nearly as bad as what was it? Requiem.
No, I feel like it was worse.
Alien versus Predator Requiem. The second.
Second one?
We had the Predator.
Oh,
We had the
that
Predator
was-
Alien.
I still feel like that film was not by much, but it was still worse.
Ooh, Predators. Nobody hated that one.
I actually like that
With
one.
Adrian Brody, that one
Yeah.
was alright.
I like that one. That's
It
dope.
was. It wasn't.
I'm telling you, that's why
Hold
I
on,
like
which one are you talking about, Jay?
I
the one where they
it
go
has
to the
be
planet.
top
With
right.
with the city or this one?
The one where they got taken to a different planet.
Yeah,
And
that's
it was
Predators.
all-
Oh, that's my
killers.
shit. That's
I
my
love
shit.
that movie. I'm with Wide on this one, bro. That's a good movie.
I think the reason I wasn't feeling it is because there was a few plot holes in it that kind of stood out to me.
I get it.
There were a lot.
Topher Grace becoming a serial killer. How did he find out that plant was paralyzing people if that's his first time on that plant?
It wasn't. It was. I think it was. I think it was
touching it.
was.
It was the
Okay.
way that it opened, and it was similar to plants that were on Earth.
Earth.
Because
Oh, okay.
if you remember, they had taken stuff from different planets to kind of
So they made a
mimic your home
Babel
world.
world.
So because he was a doctor and he had studied these different things, he kind of noticed, because if you look at it, like he was a serial killer who was pre-med basically. So he understood different things and how they worked.
Yeah.
And honestly, I called him being a serial killer from the time that all opened. And that was the only thing that really truly bothered me about that movie, because one, nobody is that useless in a movie like that. No one. Number two, If you looked at it, literally everyone that was there was some type of killer in some way, shape,
Or form. Yep.
Yep.
or form. So it did not make sense for the Predator to make an oversight and bring a useless human being. Again, because their background has always been they go after established threats. Which, to your point, black people being a threat just because they're black, I don't know, that's kind of was.
If you look at it, the threats he was taking out were like, and I know one of the things. I'm just saying, like the threats he was taking out in that movie. I'm gonna defend it a little bit because the Jamaican, I think they were Jamaicans, and they were killing folks. When he took them out, they were getting ready to kill this couple, correct?
But he wasn't a threat
to
them.
But what was the point of them being the threat? Was it perhaps that they were not white?
That when they was getting ready to kill that couple.
And why were they getting ready to do it? Why were they painted in that light, sir? Not sir.
If I'm not mistaken, I know what you mean, but if I'm not mistaken, I can't remember if the guy owed the money or something. I have to go back. I haven't seen it in a minute. I have to go back and watch it.
That's not my question. My question is not what were the actions that they were doing. My question is why were they painted in that light? Why did the script call for them to be the way that they were?
Because they could have definitely had Chet and Stacy there.
It's racist.
The body count was powerful.
It's racism.
It's all right. All right, so Jeremy, you gonna catch up?
Still one of my favorite movies.
I ain't mad at you, bro. I ain't.
All right. You don't really care about this one, bitch.
I don't like any of these.
Okay, there we go.
So hungry, Trump.
Ninja Turtles.
Favorite
and
the
least
first
favorite.
one. Least favorite. The latest one that came out. No, I take that back. I did not like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3.
My motherfucking friend. I said the same shit.
3 just.
I have a point of clarification here. When you say the latest one that came out, do you mean the one on Netflix now, the animated one, or do you mean the Megan Fox ones?
The Michael Bay Boomy one.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
Yeah. They butchered Rocksteady and Bebop. Best Captain America, Winter Soldier. Civil War was just an Avengers film, and I stand by that. The worst one was the first one.
Okay.
I'm glad he was not here for mine.
Spidey. Okay. I'm probably gonna shock y'all. What's happening? It's just space. Appreciate you sliding through, man.
What up, man?
All right. So
he was there with us on Sunday.
Yeah, he was here for the sip and talk shit. So my favorite Spider-Man has not changed. Spider-Man 2 with Dr. Octopus.
Okay.
Thoroughly enjoyed that one.
What's your least favorite? What's your least favorite? I just want to know.
If you pick anything other than Spider-Man 3,
I know some.
I'm gonna be 1 million with you.
Don't you fucking dare.
Yep. I'm gonna keep it 1 million with you. Amazing Spider-Man.
Spider-Man 2 is a classic.
Yeah, Amazing Spider-Man. Which one had the one with the one in the middle? That's it. The one where he was like, Peter.
So let me get this straight.
She definitely got loud.
I want the smoke.
Death of Gwen Stacy to you is worse than the atrocity they committed with Venom. I want to hear you say this with your whole chest and your spectacles.
Okay.
You're okay with the version of Venom that they gave us over that film.
Let me put up the pop filter for you. I would take Spider-Man 3 over that movie any day of the week. Let me tell you why.
Hell is hot.
Yes, they did fuck up Venom. Yes, they did fuck up Green Goblin 2. But what they did get right was Flint fucking Marco. Sandman is an underrated villain.
You say that.
So you mean to tell me you're cool with 3 minutes?
However,
first off, it wasn't no 3 minutes.
However,
fine, 3.5.
Spider-Man 3.
I seen him trying to pick up that locket and fail, but through sheer determination, picking it up and actually getting it. And then seeing Spider-Man slowly turn into a villain where he thought he killed Flint Marco. Let's not forget that. He thought he murdered the nigga and was cool with it.
I was done when that nigga started dancing.
Bro, I was
That's
done
what's
when they
trash.
started that movie because again, the actress for Mary Jane should have been fired.
So wait a
Hell
minute.
is hot. Hell
So
is hot.
you'd rather
And that's
keep
where this
that whack
opinion
ass
belongs.
Green Goblin over our
let's
dancing Spider-Man?
let's
and
get
our-
this
and
let's
our
get this
Venom
correct.
movie?
Let's get this correct. I guess the Amazing Spider-Man movies, I only watch them for
Sandman
Andrew
don't say
Garfield.
that movie. Sandman does
Thank
not
you,
say
thank
that.
you,
He's
bro.
wrong. He's wrong. It's fine. Hell is hot.
No, he's saying
But
Sandman don't say that movie.
movie.
I say
No, I'm saying he
Spider-Man
said
three.
I
She's
see
saying
what
I'm
you're
wrong.
saying,
She's
though,
saying
and what he's
I'm
saying is
wrong.
wrong, and he needs to
You are
switch
wrong.
to correct.
And it's okay for everybody to be incorrect, but me. I'm not saying you're wrong. You're just incorrect.
You are incorrect.
Look, I understand that Peter danced.
Nah.
It was whack. It was corny, but this
movie
was
was
corny
whack.
Spider-Man, y'all. Like, I feel like that's
No.
what everybody's forgetting.
No.
Nobody's talking about the corny shit he did in the first one, kissing upside down. That's whack as fuck. Who
That's because you're not a
the
romantic.
this nigga,
That's cute.
bruh, this nigga beat up some niggas, hit his face, and ducked off into an alley. Come on, bro. That's whack as shit. Let's be
They've
real.
done that in the
Wow.
comics 1,002
Remember this?
times. That's
Remember
his
this?
whole. That's his whole.
That's Spider-Man
life.
1.
His whole
Remember
gimmick.
this? Remember that? That was Spider-Man 1.
that was
Right. And Spider-Man
corny.
3. And Spider-Man 3 was, I don't want to be happy. I'm angry.
It was emo. He couldn't be a serial killer.
All right.
Mute his mic. Get him out of here.
He's
Wait, hit
he's
somebody hit the bit.
incorrectness running rampant, huh?
Hey, hit the Benjamin man. Somebody get him out of here.
Bro,
Get off his mic.
I am disappointed.
All right, so we're gonna do another one.
Hey, yeah,
come
let's
on.
move on. I didn't move this. Yeah,
I'm gonna do this one. I'm gonna do
Best Spider-Man is not Spider-Man. Goddamn it. Best Terminator was Judgment Day. I don't give a fuck.
hold on. I'm gonna
Yeah,
make a because everybody's gonna say Judgment Day for the most part, I think.
Oh, I was about to say I ain't nothing fucking with T-1000.
So I'm gonna take out Judgment Day. Give me the second greatest one.
Oh,
And then
I'm
the
gonna go with
worst
Salvation. I really fucked with Salvation.
Okay.
I really fuck with Salvation hard. It'll be a tie between 1 and Salvation. I like that. I wanted to actually see what the fuck was going on when Skynet won, and I got that in Salvation.
KB.
I don't remember these films.
Huh.
I was ready to fight you. Like, how you not gonna see these films?
How
I
you
was
not
ready
gonna
to
argue with us?
you down.
The only one I remember is the one that terrified me, and I think that's 2,
Oh.
which is the one you took out. Isn't that the one where the dude turns to liquid and resolidifies? Yeah,
Mhm.
that's the only one I remember, and I actually do love that movie despite how much it scared me. And that's so I got nothing for you.
So you say we can't vote for 2?
We
Yeah.
can't go for 2 because 2, everybody's gonna say is probably the best one.
But time out. We do agree that it is 2 though, right?
Yeah.
Of course.
Oh, okay. Just
Okay.
Yeah,
Of
just
course.
making
Make it
sure. Look,
So
Since
we can't
people
go for
put-
2.
so we can't vote for 2. But
I
you got
would-
1,
I-
2, 3, 4, 5 more to choose from. It's gonna be hard to choose which one is the worst one though.
I don't think Dark Fate was that the
Genesis.
latest one?
Yes,
Okay.
Genesis
Dark
is probably the
wasn't
worst
bad,
one.
actually.
Dark Fate best.
Genesis is probably the worst one. Dark Fate is the one with where they brought back okay, yeah, so
It's
Genesis
just
is the worst one. And for me, I'll probably go with Salvation since we can't pick 2. I like Salvation a lot.
Yeah.
It's pretty
It
decent.
was hard.
Yes. Salvation was my favorite. I was a little sad that they outside of 2. I was a little sad that they didn't continue that story because
Yes.
I was tired of them going to the past, to be honest with you. I wanted to be able to see what the future held for them and also see this war between man versus machine. And so that was my second favorite. The worst one, it's either Genesis or Terminator 3. Either one of those. They're kind of interchangeable in my.
I never seen Genesis, but I did see 3. 3 was just let's make it a woman. That Well, I take that back. Well, no, it was just let's make it a woman because the speed aspect was Terminator 2. This person wasn't as big as the T-800, but he could get around like way more. And yeah, I just feel like, hey, we haven't done a woman, make it a woman, new movie. And I was just like, not digging it.
I feel you.
I will say in the latest one, Dark Fate? I did not expect them to see them off a kid that quickly in the beginning. They shot the shit out of John Connor.
John Connor had no chance. They were like, "Hey, Mom."
Credits were still rolling in the beginning when they offed his ass.
They're like, John Connor ain't here no more.
He ain't in this one. Shit.
All right, so I always say this. I believe they should get rid of Arnold, with all due respect, because he just needs to do that. But I also think a person that would be really good for that position would be Batista, because he's big as shit. He can be able to actually move a little bit better, and then also he can be able to do that like that comedy joint where he's like straight faced while like they play off of that. I think that he would.
I'm afraid it would become too much like Drax. I'm just gonna be honest with you, because those characters are very similar. It's early Drax. Guardians 1 Drax, I'll say that, because Guardians 2 Drax is way more loose, and flamboyant with his jokes. I'm not against his body type and him as an actor doing it. I would just like to see, especially seeing that we love Salvation, that twist ending. I think it was the bonus ending. I would like to see that type of Terminator, a more everyman Terminator in a situation.
So that he can be able to blend in a little bit more.
Yes, because if you see him, because you see a big ass white guy being weird, you're like, that's a big ass white dude. But if you just see just a regular looking cat who could just go toe to toe, because let's be real, the T-800 couldn't really fight. He was just really strong.
Yeah, he was getting his hands up. He was getting hands put on him. Like he wasn't
movie. He got his hands put on him by everybody.
He rated E for everyone, as Mr. Stokes like to say.
Yes,
he would just catch him. I would like to see someone a little bit more tactical, like actually getting some blows in. I would like that.
Kind of like the Dark Fate Terminator.
Yeah, like
that was really cool too. That they separated the two. So then after that, then you had to worry about that. So that was really crazy. KB, you got to watch it. It's not as bad when you're older. Trust me, because I had the same issue. Like I told you, my nightmare with my Terminator not coming required, like assembled together. So then after that, I couldn't really put him together at the age of 7.
Question: why? What was? I just got questions, bro. Like,
okay, go ahead.
You was a Power Ranger, and your Megazord ran out of gas. You got a Terminator, you couldn't put them together, bro. What kind of your imagination just be?
Bro, first and second grade was rough.
They have the struggle with completion of things.
Yeah, man, like, so I tried to put together my Terminator, but how you try to put together, Arnold Schwarzenegger's leg, and it motherfucking looks like fucking a ham bone from what was it? From the Flintstones.
Yeah, like I feel you, bro. I lose pieces. So my shit probably ain't even gonna stay together because I can't find a little clip that keeps his knee together.
So man, it was just shoot that it was rough in second and third grade, bro. Like friends wasn't all there, so then after that it came in my psyche, fucked me all the way up. I was like, I ain't got no friends, I ain't got no Terminator either. I bet you. And then after that, I just realized like nobody ever thought about the basic logistics of being a Power Ranger. You know what I'm saying? Like, who puts gas in this? You know what I mean? What does it run on? Nobody thought about this. So then it just be my luck that somebody be like, hey, let me take the Zord out and this shit that got no gas.
Yo, you right though. Straight up.
I'm about to take the Zord out and run to the store real quick. Right. Get halfway there. Who forgot to put? Hey, Zordon. Who forgot to put that gas in the Zord, bro?
Alpha didn't do his fucking job again. Hey, you know what I'm saying?
And now Zordon is running the fade with your face.
Look, you getting the Tyrannosaurus. Who been fucking with the seat?
Like I can't go. Like fucking Billy over here making adjustments and shit.
Man, who the fuck you had in the Megazord, man? My seat all the way back.
Think
I
about
feel
it.
like if Billy were doing that though, you wouldn't have that problem because he would have put a solar panel on it. You would have been fine. You would have been fine if Billy had made adjustments.
I don't know, because see, what if Billy didn't know about it, and what if Billy fucked with something, and then after that it messed up something? You know what I mean?
The experiments didn't go.
Because
that's half the episode, but he would have had it fixed by the end. He would have been fine.
yeah, but that's how you catch that L, especially towards the end of the season. Like end of season 2, 3, that's everybody's Zord got fucked up during at one point. I was like, am I in a season finale? Shit don't make no sense. So, all right, so I got another couple. This one is going to be Go ahead.
No, it was okay.
Go ahead. What'd you have?
No, I was gonna say like it wasn't the nightmares that kept me from watching the rest of the Terminator films. I actually did see 3. I just don't remember anything about it, and I've seen bits and pieces of the others, but my brain basically said whoop, and I know nothing.
It's because nothing happened.
Okay, well there we are. So the only one I remember is 2 because it terrified me, but I loved it.
I like Salvation so much that I bought it on a Blu-ray, and I didn't buy anything at that time. Like download king over here, bro. It was ridiculous. Like, bro, it was all bad. But I don't do that shit no more.
I still do.
Hey, we're on a live thing. Don't say that.
Being real with myself.
All right,
shit.
Batman movies.
Ooh.
I'm not gonna allow you to choose any of the old ones that we haven't ever seen, but
I already know what my favorite is. Y'all ain't gonna believe my answer, so I'm gonna let somebody else go. I'm gonna go last.
Oh, but see, now I need to hear this. Are we gonna fight again?
Probably.
We might, because you ain't gonna believe my favorite.
All right, what you got?
And it's not The Dark Knight. It's nothing Christopher Nolan.
Of course.
It's not Michael Keaton Batman either.
Oh shit.
What are you doing?
Look at that picture, long and hard. The best Batman movie. Fuck it, I'll go first. The best Batman movie up here is in the top right corner. Mask of the Phantasm.
I knew it.
That movie is flawless.
I knew it.
Flawless. You had a detective story, and you got the origin of the Joker, and you saw how cruel the Joker was before he became the Joker. That movie was excellent.
I knew it. I knew when you said it wasn't The Dark Knight, I said it's probably gonna
I'm
be
trying to figure out
Mask
why
of
you
the
thought I was
Phantasm.
gonna argue.
That's not a bad choice though.
I really want to know why you thought I would argue this.
Oh, not like
I thought
saying
you had rap beef with me, but yeah, Mask of the Phantasm was my favorite.
it's not like you saying Batman and Robin is your favorite. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Like it's not like we were doing that. So I got no
Batman
smoke.
Forever.
I feel like you just accused me of being on crack just now.
I mean, you
That was
did pick The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is worse than Spider-Man 3, so that's not a far off statement. But
man, I'm telling you, it's just space. You got to do it, man.
Yes,
that one was a really, really good one.
Just the intro, just download the intro theme and listen to it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Man, and then they had Robin in that one too, didn't they? For a little bit.
Yes.
Or no, that's Sub-Zero.
No, that is Sub-Zero. My bad.
That's Sub-Zero.
I forgot Sub-Zero was a film. Yeah, that was a dope one. But yeah,
that's actually my second favorite. So good choice.
So we got to choose these Batman movies, right? You can't do
if you got one other one, I'll determine whether or not I veto it or not.
It's more, but it's more so not a. It's more so for the other character in that Batman. I was gonna say Batman Attack of the Red Hood. Like,
yeah,
I love that movie. Love that movie. And for the simple fact that we get Jason Todd. Love the Red Hood. But in this, just picking from the ones we have on screen.
I'm gonna switch up the music.
It'll probably be I love the originals, but I'll probably just go with probably go with Dark Knight. Because I really like Heath Ledger's portrayal of the Joker in that movie. So it'll probably be the Dark Knight for me. Even though the new Batman with what's the boy name?
Twilight.
He Who Sparkles.
Yeah.
All those sparkles.
He goes sparkles. even though like I love his representation of Batman, he did a really good job as it. Can't say it's can't put it up. Can't say it's my number one, my favorite. I've only seen it once. I've only seen it once, so I'm gonna probably have to watch it again here soon. But just off basis that's Batman Dark Knight probably my favorite. Least favorite. Ooh,
so many to choose from.
It is, but I am gonna go with. I was gonna go with Batman Forever, but
boy, I will cut you out.
I like Jim Carrey's portrayal.
Yes,
Jim Carrey Riddler, man. That he's hilarious. So I'm probably go with, even though as a kid I love this movie, Batman and Robin probably my least favorite.
All right,
Lego Batman.
Yeah, Lego Batman. And then your favorite would be Dark Knight. I did, yeah. So I agree. KB, what about you?
So that Michael Keaton, the first Batman, is my favorite, but I've acknowledged this is because I have a bias with it. It is one of my dad's favorite movies, and therefore one of my favorite movies to watch with him. It always makes me think of him. So I'm very particular to that, like very partial to that film. Also, he stole my balloons. Why didn't somebody tell me he had one of those things? Bob Gunn. And then he shot Bob. That is hilarious to me. I love that film. Least favorite. Controversy. I don't like He Who Sparkles Batman. I wasn't feeling it.
Okay, that's right. I'll bite.
I said what I said. I'm not walking it back. I watched it last
week.
Let's
go. I'm pulling in.
Ding, ding, ding. Oh, wow, you need a bell, man.
So, okay. Yeah, so he was in the Twilight film. Big whoop. He was a vampire that lit up. We often, on this platform, talk about the risks that DC does not take.
Mm-hmm.
The one chance they actually take PTSD,
it is the worst,
and show it to you.
Mm-hmm.
They showed you a dirty, grungy millionaire whose work is just doing time stuff. And you had a problem with that?
Yes.
She meme mugged you and then told you yes.
It don't make sense.
She looked you straight in your eyes and told you she still, after what you just told her.
You're going to have to tell me why. And this is coming from somebody who was harshly critical of the movie. One, I think it's too long. Two, has some really dry, boring spells between it. And three, the star of your show was not the star of the show you thought it was. As much as awesome as Paul Dano was, let's be real, as awesome as he was, the star of the show was the Penguin. He had the most charisma, the best interaction with characters that you've seen on and off screen. I mean, on and off his scenes, I'll say. That's just
okay. Now, my issues with the movie are actually the things that you stated. It's entirely too long, so it did not hold my attention very well. Two, I think at this point I was simply just over Batman films in general. And three, again, I do not find Robert Pattinson to be a good actor. I don't think he's god awful.
Really?
And I will admit that, and I do admit that coming into the movie, I was heavily critical of casting him, mostly due to Twilight. However, I do have the ability to set bias aside for movies with the exception of Superman. I just happen to hate him and will never not.
Come on.
I had to say it because I knew you would call me on it if I didn't say it. I knew you would call me on it if I did not acknowledge it, so I had to say it. That was not a shot at you. It was simply a fact. I will never not be critical of him because I hate him. But when it comes,
bias is like showing all through every statement you're making.
So here's my thing though. I tried to sit here and watch the film, and I really just was not pulled into this story. And I will say that I do think a lot of it had to do with Batman fatigue. I am going to watch the movie again, but it's going to be a minute. because it did not hold my attention. I felt that the parts that were dry were entirely too dry and lasted way longer than they should have, which
I can feel you on that one.
added to the runtime of this movie. And I just was not engaged with what was going on. I did love Penguin. That's probably my favorite part of the movie, to be honest, is him. And so, like, it's just, I didn't care for it. Like, at least with the others, the attempts, like, at least if I didn't enjoy it, I laughed.
The GoPro shot with Batman flying off the building was hilarious.
When he hit that motherfucking building, I hollered. I howled. I was laughing so fucking hard.
I just wasn't into it. And again, it could just be Batman fatigue, but I wasn't feeling it.
I can feel it. I just, I finally got a detective film, but I got a boring detective film. It was a drawn out, kind of boring detective film. I'm gonna be. Can I be real with you? Can I be 100 with you? I bet you $1 million it would have been better if they cut out Catwoman and her story with Carmine Falcone and saved it for the sequel. It was too much trying to be established in the first film for me. It was too much because Catwoman was basically what? Surveillance. She was a MacGuffin.
And I just, again, entirely too long and pointless. Like, I wasn't feeling it. Had it just been like maybe him and Penguin, I probably would have been a lot more into the movie.
I would have liked that more. I'm gonna be
so. Look, I'm not feeling it. It's
I would have been fine with the mystery not being solved in this first film. I would have been fine if Riddler actually getting caught in the second one. You know what?
I wouldn't have been, because I need closure. I couldn't do
need resolution.
Yeah, I couldn't be able to. And
but
like
we said that before with Infinity War, though.
But no. You got closure. You got closure that, hey, like, shit didn't go like you wanted to, but shit was ended. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, I still think they could have ended on a cliffhanger. I still think that could have happened. I think the cliffhanger could have been Carmine's going to talk. Carmine
Suicide was awesome. And Peacemaker is pretty good too.
I watched. Y'all gonna hate me for this. I finally watched the first episode of Peacemaker. I see what y'all are talking about now. One, that intro's hilarious. Two,
I want y'all to do that. I want y'all to do the dance with me, man. Like, just send
I'm not gonna do that.
Come on, man.
Because it's hilarious. It's so silly that I would take it serious and it wouldn't be as impactful.
That's what made it so good, because it looks serious. It's not like they were smiling or anything like that. They looked like it was actually doing it from that point.
Right. Let me ask you this regarding these DC films.
What's up?
What character? Because we don't need another Batman film. Superman is probably off the table for a little bit. What character? And Flash, I don't even want to hear anything. I'm gonna be real with you. That movie's gonna drop, and I'm gonna make sure I pirate that movie. I'm gonna go out my way. What character can they draw in to as a good faith character? Who would y'all have? Give them a movie, give them a $90 million budget, shade, and keep the movie. Who could they draw in?
Martian Manhunter. I want Martian Manhunter so bad. I really just, I feel like if you got the right script together, that would be an absolutely fantastic time. And I feel as though he does not get enough love.
Especially after the way they did him in the Justice League movie, where he showed up at the very end. It was like, "Hey man, I saw y'all was having a little trouble, but next time, I got you."
Yeah. I'd have been like, "Where the fuck were you?"
I really just think you're right. But I feel like if you do it right, though, that's a fantastic character to run with, because I feel as though while he is fairly well known, he's not like a heavy hitter established story. So you're gonna pull in people who are like, "Whoa, who's this guy? Let's go see what you're talking." If they do it right, but because it is DC, I don't trust them to do it right, and therefore I really don't want them to do anything. But
Okay, so let's do this then. Let me wipe that doubt off the table. They're going to do it right. Let's say absolutely James Gunn's going to do it. It's going to be a serious film, serious budget. We're going to market it. The character you picking is Martian
There you
Manhunter.
that's what I'm picking. Only because the last time you gave me Green Lantern, it still left a bad taste in my mouth. Because I do agree. I think that Jon Stewart's Green Lantern is the one they should run when they run it. But I don't trust you. I do not. But Martian Manhunter is going to be my pick just because I feel like really he's one of the only ones that's kind of a familiar face with the Justice League. It really hasn't had a run at anything.
Who y'all got?
I say two people. So I want to do something that would be just like a one-off thing. Like I would want to do something like the Elongated Man, so that it's just a story that's just completely off the books. Also, I think a way to kind of merge or like kind of give your time together is you do a Booster Gold series. So then after that you can be able to go through time and space, and then after that you don't have to talk about the big three. So then you can go to a point where the big three are no longer there, because I think you need to get away from Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and also Aquaman. I think you need to reboot everything, but in a way where like they're heard about. You know how on Logan they were talking about how everybody was a legend and like half the stuff that they did, so like it was more myth rather than legend. I think that's what they should be at that point.
Hey, I would say, you notice one thing I've seen like Marvel do, but DC won't do, or DC hasn't done. Like just in Marvel, like notice some of the characters that you see on screen, some of their comic counterparts kind of start resembling, you start resembling them. DC hasn't done, won't touch, like they won't touch. They're like, how we got Jason Momoa as Aquaman, and how his Aquaman looks so different from the comic Aquaman. And granted, I like Aquaman as far as in the DC, as far as both the comic and the movies, but it took a minute for Jason Momoa to grow on me as Aquaman. But once I watched him, his portrayal, and like, okay, I can get jiggy with this. You know what I'm saying? And giving Aquaman an overhaul in the comics that would have been kind of dope as well. Maybe giving him some of more of a regular look like that, but they won't touch him. But I just think, as far as DC in the movies or their so-called whatever they're trying to do, man, it's just shit. It's a shit show. Like, and they they're still going ahead with Ezra Miller as Flash. Like, all the shit this man done did, they still about to get this man a movie.
Bruh.
They canceled Batgirl. They canceled.
They're talking on the chopping block right now is Static Shock.
Static.
The Black Superman movie.
Black Superman
and also the Jon Stewart Green Lantern.
And that was supposed to be a show coming on HBO Max. So they get ready to those on the chopping block, but y'all about to put out the Flash. This movie come out before I let you go, Kevin. Before if they release this movie, I ain't going nowhere near it. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm not going nowhere near it. If I watch it, it's gonna be on bootleg, whatever the case. But that's
pirate the fuck out of it. We will share our pirated copy.
There you go. Because I'm not going nowhere near it. Nowhere near it. I'm sorry. Go ahead, KB.
Oh no, nothing to apologize for. I don't think we're actually going to get the movie. I think that they are using this as a way to generate more noise and more publicity for things. And I do believe like it's going to be one of those last minute cancellations in which they're saying, hey, we recognize we have done wrong. We shouldn't have gone forward. We're sorry about this, that, and the third. I really do think, like, at this point, continuing on with Ezra as they are and continuing with them as the Flash is not actually about to happen. They're really just riding the train until they can't ride it anymore, because think about it, we are talking about it. Even in wanting this movie to not happen, there's discussion. They're just
using Ezra's name because they're like, he gonna constantly fuck up. So
exactly.
At least it's gonna take away the fact that we haven't put some shit out. We only put out Black Adam and Super Pets.
Right. And what's getting ready to happen is they're going to sub something else in its place, and they're basically using this to kind of offset and talk about it.
What if they mind fucked us and then just decided to put Batgirl in the spot of Flash? But then after that, they try to make it so that they didn't catch hell for taking off the Flash and losing Michael Keaton and all the rest of that. They're just like, listen, we realize like all the money that we could have been putting behind, somebody who really has a character worth, talking about and character that they're doing. Then after that, more people would go see Batgirl than even what they would have done beforehand.
Yeah, they're really about to just like edit somebody's face over top of Ezra's body.
Thank you. He said it.
Smart.
He said it.
All right, so I did think about two other people that I think would be really good. I think Firestorm would be really good, because then after that you have like an older guy with a scientific mind with the younger guy, and they're sharing a body. You could really be able to do something with that one. And then also I was looking at Dead Man, where so that way you can be able to have him solving crimes. He's more in that same realm as Constantine. You get away from Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and Aquaman, because you're dealing with the dark Justice League.
I like that. I honestly would be cool with another Constantine movie. I would love another Constantine.
But
movie.
They haven't even reached out to Keanu. Keanu was like, I'd be more than happy to play. So listen, if he gave us a shitty ass Matrix movie, he can give us a good Constantine movie.
You want Keanu, or you want the guy that's been playing Constantine lately?
There we go.
That's the question.
Thank you. That's where it starts. And that was my pick. My pick is to make a movie with Constantine, but the TV Constantine. Because he's already did the crossovers with everybody. Yes. That will be our Flash.
And let me say this. I agree. I love it. I know people don't like it wasn't widely celebrated or whatever, but the Constantine movie with Keanu, I enjoyed that movie. I liked it. However, but what Sir just said, I would like the movie to be done with the Constantine that we've been getting. He's been in the cartoons, he's been in the crossovers. The guy had his own show. Give me that Constantine.
Yep, it will make sense to the ones that matter, because
where
DC fails is DC has no faith in the people who's already watched shit. The way shit gets done, the legwork for connecting the story isn't done by the movies. It's done by the YouTubers, the comic fans who actually go and show people, hey, this happened. So on my YouTube video, I'm gonna show you what the connections are made. They do the legwork for you, and you ain't gotta pay them.
They give them free passes to the movie review.
Hall H. That's what happened. They get into Hall H, and it works out because you bring in more. You're breaking down all these comics for the regular people who don't, subscribe to every episode. They come in, they get caught up in a 30-minute video, and bam, they're just as knowledgeable as the next person.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I want that kind of thing. But
Hawk and Dove would be good too.
Hawk and Dove would be dope. It was somebody else I was thinking of. Oh, somebody that's kind of obscure, but that would be dope. It's The Question.
Oh, they're not obscure at all. That's my God.
I mean, some people, a lot of people.
If you continue Montoya, you know what I'm saying? That's the new Question. Yeah.
So Icon, don't know about The Question.
They're not ready for Icon though.
Oh man,
no,
I would love.
I would be The Question for Halloween year before last. Like I'm still considering it.
Question deserves to be a show.
Between that and Two-Face.
I agree.
Okay, I see that. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with
Question
that.
needs I'm not gonna say 10 episodes. Give them 8 episodes and have them be the floor level person when they reboot the DCEU. Does that make sense?
Ooh, that'll be dope. That'll be dope. You could do questions.
You know, the question could be trying to figure out where they went to.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying.
And then after that,
That would be hard.
all right. So I got like one more that we're gonna do since we're
These
in the
niggas just don't hit a higher us. It'll be.
Sure, we would make it easy. Oh shit.
Oh Lord, here we go with this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So which one is your favorite? Which one is your least favorite?
So me being the favorite, gonna be 2. Least favorite. And let me, before I say this, I enjoyed that movie. The movie is hilarious. I enjoy. I will watch. If you put that movie on right now, I will sit and watch it. But the least favorite is probably gonna be the Ghostbusters with Melissa McCarthy.
With the ladies.
Yeah.
He didn't want to say it.
Yeah, he didn't want to.
I mean, I didn't because I don't
was
want nobody
walking
coming
on
out of the woodwork.
eggshells.
Hey, he's such and such. Nah, bro. Look, the movie was. Like, I'm not saying it's a bad movie. I'm just saying like as a overall, the least favorite. 2, I love 2. You get the Bobby Brown song. Man, don't get me started on that. But and I really enjoy Afterlife. I love what they did with it.
Afterlife was great.
I love like the nostalgia feel they had to it. But yeah.
KB.
The first one is my favorite. My least favorite is the all-female cast.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with her. First one was my favorite. Least favorite was the fuck fest that was one with the women. And you want to know what sucks with that is they put them in an impossible situation. You're gonna take an opportunity like that.
They did
to take all women, and you made it painfully obvious that it was like women's rights. You know what I'm saying? And you give us that with the beloved property. This property had nothing to do with man or woman. You could have just subtly did it. Like when you're over the top like that, it's insulting. And then you had the audacity to be not that funny. I'm not saying he had no good jokes in it. It did, had a couple, but you weren't that funny.
Yeah, I see that. It's just.
And then they attacked my girl, bro. Like the hate mail she got for being the big black woman. Yeah. And I've seen some Twitter comments that said that. Like, I ain't fucking with that. Like, fuck you to whoever wrote that script. Like, you ain't even have to do her like that to make her that stereotypical to elicit that response. Fuck you. And
they could have definitely given her a different role, because if they were going to put her because she's going to be the big black girl anyway, why not make her something other than like the one that's the least educated? Because they did the same shit.
I hated it.
They did the same shit with Ernie. And I didn't like that shit either, because like low-key, it still boils my blood a little bit that on the first Ghostbusters one, some of the posters don't have him on there. And I'm like, come on now. Like, he was on there just like everybody else was. You could put fucking Slimer on there. You could put her.
The only reason I get him leeway on the first one is because he really didn't come in until the end, near the end of the movie. You know what I'm saying? So he really didn't show up until like near the end. You know what I'm saying? So I get him a little leeway with that. But yeah, like that movie with women, like yeah. And granted, it was some funny stuff in there with that, but it still was just. It could have did a lot better with that movie.
Mm-hmm. And I think the thing that they did with the newest one, Afterlife, is they made it to a point where like they're not trying to replace them, but they were like, listen, this is just the next generation. And plus, when you put like kids in there, you can't get half as much criticism as you did. Now they still got criticism on it, but you know what I mean? I think it was an even better way of just being able to say, hey, listen, we're not trying to replace these people or anything like that, or reinvent the wheel, because that was like a reboot, which didn't make any sense as far as that.
It was a reboot, but a /continuation. You know what I'm saying? You got the characters in the same universe, as the original Ghostbusters. Like this is not like you said. We're not replacing them, but hey, this is next generation. This is the you know what I'm saying. You got the nostalgia come in with the original showing up, and this is these guys are here to carry on the basically the name of Ghostbusters or the Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Whatever the case would be. So that's why I was like, that's why I really enjoyed it. That's why I say when they tried to what they tried to do with the women Ghostbusters, basically like they was the Ghostbusters. They were like that. Like, no, this ain't gonna work, right? Like
were all three of the original Ghostbusters that were alive still in the ladies one?
All of them, yeah, except for Harold, but yeah, all of them were in there. Ernie was in there.
The one was an uncle.
Yeah.
Dan Aykroyd was like he was a taxi driver, and then Bill Murray was like he was somebody who was quote unquote. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they were all in there. Yeah, they were. And that's one thing. Like even the originals, they kind of, I guess, I don't know if they signed off on it, but it was like, okay, we'll be in it. Like
they needed money, bro.
You can say that, I guess, but it was just there was no.
It's bigger than that. I feel like if they weren't in it, they were damning the film.
Mm-hmm. I can see that.
Yeah. So they kind of had them kind of by the short hairs on that one, because then after that it was just like, if you guys aren't in it, especially Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray, like because they were the one who wrote the story for it. Or no, Dan Aykroyd did.
It was him and Harold Ramis.
Yeah.
Him, Harold Ramis, and I think Ivan Reitman.
Yeah.
They were kind of collab together. And Afterlife is done by Ivan Reitman's son.
Mm-hmm. Did you know Ivan's passed away just a couple months ago? So he got to see his son make I think it's true. And then so he got to be able to see his son kind of continue what he was doing, and then he passed, I think. Or maybe did I kill him in my mind? No. February 12th, he passed away.
Oh, okay.
Whew, I thought I killed somebody in my mind.
No, us as black people, we good for that.
Man,
all right, bro. Appreciate you sliding through, Space.
All right, man.
Be easy.
Bring your ass back on Sunday.
Yes.
Take it easy, Space.
Yeah. What up, Sam?
What up, Sam? So, y'all, so what other stuff do y'all have to talk about? I know we've been on here for a minute, so I wanted to make sure there was nothing else on your mind.
That's it for me, man. You know I'm an old man, so I gotta take my ass to bed.
I know.
Yeah, I got nothing. I'm just like I said, I've been rewatching the Predator films, so I might slide into Alien if I can find them. May not.
Ooh. I have things.
We got to talk about Alien, because people are either love or hate the prequels. So that's what we're gonna talk about next time. Well, that'll be like our off-topic thing, where we talk about whether or not if they love it or hate it. Because I'm new to all of it. Because scary movies, my ass was staying away from up until about 6 or 7 years ago.
All right,
I was
folks.
like,
I gotta cut out. I'll see y'all later, brother.
All right, man.
All right, y'all take it easy.
All right, you too.
Please.
You know what's odd is I really don't do horror movies, but Alien never bothered me.
That's weird.
That is weird. So shit in your busting. Okay.
I always just consider them sci-fi movies, and sci-fi generally don't bother me.
Wow.
So you.
Yeah, sci-fi very rarely bothers me.
You Jedi mind tricked yourself.
Yep.
Pretty much.
That's wild.
Yeah.
You know what's really, really crazy though? When Alien versus Predator, where they went to the maternity ward and then they just started filling them.
Alien versus Predator is a hilarious movie.
So
that movie is just funny to me.
It's just like, yo, you got some money? Yeah, I got some money. Wanna make a fucked up movie? Yeah, let's do it. That was it, bro. It was just people who had a lot of money and just had to. They played with the toys as kids and read the comic books and was just like, yeah, let's just make what the fuck we want. I got some buckets of blood over here.
Yeah.
We can do a whole nother sequel conversation though.
Right.
Yeah. So. All right,
we could definitely do another sequel panel.
Yeah.
Yes. I think they.
big time.
So, well, I know it's getting late, y'all. We've been on here for 2 hours roughly. So I appreciate y'all, and appreciate y'all who stopped by, said what's up. Do me a favor. I want y'all to be like the Hulk. I want y'all to smash that follow button. I want y'all to then share this wherever you can, and we're gonna be like Morgan Stark, and we're gonna love you 3000. But until then, we are going to be like the NWO. We are going to be just too sweet.